Angry Birds Star Wars might get your attention thanks to its very cute and clever use of the beloved sci-fi franchise, but it'll keep your attention thanks to its huge variety of perfectly tuned stages. Angry Birds Star Wars is a perfect example of how to correctly use a license. This isn't just Angry Birds with a Star Wars skin. This is the best Angry Birds game yet. As you would expect, Star Wars characters, locations, and lore reshape the entire game, turning it into something very fresh and very fun. All the birds have been given Star Wars makeovers in both design and function. The red Luke bird has a lightsaber, the black Obi-Wan bird can force push blocks, but my personal favorite is the yellow Han Solo bird. He fires blaster rounds anywhere on screen that players aim. The 80 stages loosely retell the story from the original Star Wars. Players start on Tatooine and then travel into space before finally reaching the Death Star itself. A Hoth update is already being teased, so gamers will probably eventually be able to fling their way through the entire original trilogy. Like the redesigned birds, the levels themselves aren't just standard Angry Birds fare with Star Wars slapped on top. Tusken Raider pigs fire blasters into the air that require players to fling with precise timing to avoid. A boss Darth Vader pig uses the Force to hold blocks aloft, adding a new wrinkle to solving each stage. Angry Birds Star Wars proves that the franchise can be much more than a casual slingshotting time killer. It never strays too far from its casual pick-up-and-play roots, but at its best it provides players with a real challenge with surprisingly clever gameplay twists. It's a ton of fun realizing that the best way to solve a stage involves turning a pig's own blaster against his fragile friends, or force-pushing blocks in a way that isn't at first obvious. All of the redesigned birds are more action-oriented and require more skill and finesse to use correctly. Some especially memorable stages require gamers to fling Han in one direction to nab one pig, while firing his blaster backwards to nab another. The game combines Angry Birds' standard ground-based stages with Angry Birds Space's zero-G outer space environments. This gives the package plenty of variety. 1 minute you're force-pushing blocks on Tatooine, and the next you're slingshotting around gravity wells to hit piggy TIE fighters. Unfortunately, like Angry Birds Space, Rovio has included a set of 40 extra challenging stages that are only available as an additional purchase. The Mighty Eagle screen-clearing power-up, which has been redesigned to be a Mighty Millennium Falcon, also comes with a limited number of uses unless gamers purchase more. Angry Birds Star Wars is still a great value, but these decisions are disappointing. Whether or not you're a Star Wars fan, Angry Birds Star Wars is a ton of fun. The clever and refined design of both the birds and the levels proves that Rovio isn't close to being out of fresh ideas. And the very careful, fun, and detailed use of the beloved Star Wars lore makes me look forward to the potential for even more Angry Birds crossovers in the future. For much more on Angry Birds Star Wars, head over to IGN.